Hi, this is Robert Evatt, tech reporter with the Tulsa World. Well, Windows 8 is available for download today for $40, and I decided to give it a whirl. Microsoft is saying that it's the biggest change they've introduced to Windows since they invented Windows, and well, they weren't kidding. We definitely have a brand new operating system with a bit of a split personality, so let's check it out. All right, well, this is it. The first thing you'll notice is that windows have been replaced by tiles. They're live tiles that can put up live information, like here the weather has the current weather right now. But you'll notice that there is no start button. Windows is claiming that this entire thing is the start button, so that's just the first of many changes that you'll have to get used to. To actually access some of the information, you go up to the corner here, and you can get a few basic commands and a few settings, but I'll get more to it later. It's also the way to only bring up the clock. That's the only time you will ever see the clock, so another big change. So, well, let's just start pecking around on things. Here's Internet Explorer. I mean, the basic view is just of nothing, no navigation, just the website, which is nice. You can bring it up with a right click. This is also the way you go back and forth between tabs, but the functionality is a little limited. I mean, you can search through stuff on the page, but you can't seem to do bookmarks anymore. I mean, you can make things a specific pin, like you can pin this to the start page like that, but that seems to be the only way you can remember websites now. So going back here, here is your People app. Yes, you have apps now. It starts off with a view of you, but you can also go back. It imports all of your contacts from Twitter and Facebook, and it just kind of throws up everything randomly on there, which isn't tremendously helpful, especially if you follow celebrities on Twitter. No, I don't know Andy Richter. You can see some notifications from Facebook and Twitter on here, but you actually have to back out to the home page to actually get to a page where you can see what's new on Facebook and Twitter. So it's very streamlined, but it's not the most easy to navigate, especially when you're just learning the beginning. Things seem a little disjointed. So here you have finance, sports, news services from Microsoft. It brings up a selection of the latest news from a variety of news sources, and like with most things, you'll be scrolling horizontally instead of vertically. And I mean, you can get a bunch of interesting things, but the annoying thing is you can't seem to be able to search through the news. I mean, you can choose your news sources, but that really seems to be it. You can't really seem to do a keyword search that I've been able to find. So that's a little baffling. You get apps and things through the store here, and Windows 8 is very different in that everything you download will be downloaded through Microsoft, so you better hope they get approved. You have a selection here, and installing something is really, really easy. You just sort of click on it, and you can click install, and it'll install through the background, which is nice and handy, but everything you download has to be for this particular page here. And if you'll notice, I mean, it's nice for getting to things you frequently use, but there's not a lot of options, not a lot of things you can do here. That's why you still have a desktop, which looks pretty much exactly like Windows 7, except still no start button down here, and you don't have your minimizer button anymore. But this is the only way to go into some of the more advanced settings, like your recycle bin, or even things like your control panel. I mean, you still do have a control panel, and going through here is the only way to get some of the options, like your screen resolution, things like that. I mean, you can't adjust them on the main start page. You actually have to go down and dig in here. And this is the only way you can mess around with individual files outside of their associated apps. and things. It's really bizarre. I mean, you go to the start page for just basic social functions, but you have to go down here to get to a lot of the things that you've been doing since you started Windows, and in fact you still have to do in many cases. Well, there it is. I mean, it does a few basic things like sifting through social networks well, and it's certainly attractive and streamlined, but it's not the most convenient thing to use in the world if you want to do like your normal computer functions. But it's hard to recommend Windows 8 in this state unless you want your computer to behave more like a tablet and don't want to actually buy a tablet. So if that's the case, then go right ahead and install.